Chosen one. You are not watching this by accident, and you did not arrive here by chance. Heaven itself aligned this moment, and your spirit was summoned to hear this word at the exact right time. Anointed one. Something has shifted in the unseen, and you are standing at the edge of a supernatural breakthrough, a divine transfer prepared long before you ever recognized the need. What has been withheld is being released. What was delayed is now aligning. Scripture says that blessings overtake those who walk in obedience, and right now, obedience has found you. Be still. Open your heart. This is a holy moment, and what is coming will change everything. Chosen one. What you are experiencing is not confusion, and it is not coincidence. The misunderstanding, the sudden distance, the way familiar faces feel foreign, now this is not punishment. This is pressure. Pressure only comes when something valuable is present. I remember seasons when my own words were twisted, when silence followed sincerity, when the people who knew my history could no longer recognize my heart. At the time, it felt personal. Looking back, it was prophetic. Heaven was marking a transition. Anointed one. Rejection has a way of revealing what approval never could. When doors closed in places that once felt safe, I learned not to ask, "What did I do wrong?" but "What is God protecting?" You are not being opposed because you failed. You are being resisted because you carry light. Light does not announce itself loudly, yet it exposes everything quietly. And when exposure threatens comfort, resistance follows even from family. Chosen. One, understand this with clarity. You're not wrestling with flesh and blood. What you're sensing is spiritual displacement. Your presence disrupts patterns that have existed for generations. I've seen it firsthand, how one person choosing truth can unsettle an entire room without saying a word. You didn't cause the tension, you revealed it, and that is why heaven trusts you. There is a mantle on your life that did not arrive recently. It was placed long before you had language for it. I remember being young and asking questions adults couldn't answer, feeling out of place at tables I was supposed to belong to. That sense of being different was never rebellion. It was awakening. You carry that same awakening, and awakening always costs relationships that depend on sleep. Chosen one. Heaven placed a signature on you that cannot be hidden. It is invisible to the natural eye, but unmistakable in the spirit. Angels recognize it. Darkness reacts to it. And people close to you feel it without understanding why. That is why you've often felt like a stranger in your own home. Not because you don't belong, but because you are being prepared to lead beyond what you were born into. I need you to hear this carefully. Your family's resistance is not the measure of your worth. It is the measure of your assignment. Every time you chose integrity over convenience, every time you refused to compromise to keep peace, something in the unseen shifted. And now, heaven is intervening in a new way. There is alignment happening not just spiritually, but materially. Anointed one. This season is not only about healing old wounds, it is about transfer. There is provision being redirected toward you because you chose obedience when it cost you comfort. I have watched how doors open unexpectedly after seasons of isolation, jobs appearing without chasing resources, arriving without begging opportunities, aligning without manipulation. This is how heaven compensates. When man withholds, God releases. Chosen one. The same resistance that followed you emotionally will not follow you financially. What was blocked relationally is being unlocked provisionally. You are stepping into a supernatural adjustment where favor overtakes effort. Not because you demanded it, but because you endured without bitterness. There is a promotion coming that will silence the voices that doubted you, not through explanation, but through evidence. I say this as someone who has walked through lean seasons where obedience felt expensive and faith felt lonely. I've seen how God restores not only what was lost, but what was never accessible before. Wealth transfer does not always look like money falling from the sky. Sometimes it looks like clarity replacing confusion, peace replacing striving, and the right connection replacing 10 wrong ones. That is the kind of breakthrough unfolding around you now. Chosen one, do not shrink your spirit to make others comfortable. Do not dilute your convictions to regain approval. The separation you feel is not rejection, it is positioning. Heaven is rearranging your environment so that when increase arrives, it does not leak. When promotion comes, it does not corrupt. When provision flows, it does not overwhelm. There is a quiet authority forming in you. I recognize it because I've felt it when you stop explaining yourself, when you stop defending your calling, when you let consistency speak. This is where peace replaces urgency. This is where trust replaces fear. And this is where heaven steps in to do what effort never could. Chosen one, stay anchored. Guard your heart. Bless without chasing. The same God who sees in secret is preparing to reward openly. What turned against you did not delay you. It redirected you. And where you are being led next, you will not need permission to thrive. Chosen one. There is a reason the separation intensified right before this shift. Heaven never removes without replacing, and God never isolates without intention. What felt like abandonment was actually alignment. I know how heavy that season feels, the quiet evenings, the unanswered messages, the sense that you're carrying everything alone. I've been there asking God why obedience seemed to cost more than compromise, but that silence was not emptiness, it was incubation. Anointed one, when God prepares a vessel for increase, he first strengthens its structure. You cannot pour abundance into a cracked foundation. That is why familiar voices faded. That is why certain relationships grew cold. Not because you were unlovable, but because where you are going requires a different frequency. You are being tuned for a higher level of responsibility, clarity, and authority. There is something sacred about the loneliness you've endured. It stripped away the need for approval. It exposed where you were still seeking validation instead of direction. I remember realizing one day that I was no longer angry about being misunderstood. I was free, and freedom is expensive. It costs comfort, familiarity, and sometimes family approval, but it pays in peace, discernment, and provision. Chosen one, hear this clearly. Heaven has been watching how you handled rejection, not just outwardly, but inwardly. Did you harden your heart, or did you stay tender? Did you curse the process, or did you stay faithful when no one applauded? That response matters because it determines what kind of blessing you can sustain. Character always precedes transfer. Right now, there is a divine recalibration happening in your life. Old cycles are breaking quietly. Generational limitations are losing their grip. What your family normalized, lack fear survival thinking you are being delivered from. And deliverance often looks like conflict before it looks like peace. You are the interruption in your bloodline, and interruptions are rarely celebrated at first. Anointed one. The resistance you experienced was not because you spoke too much. It was because your spirit spoke, even when your mouth was closed. Your growth confronted stagnation. Your faith exposed fear. And instead of rising with you, some chose to pull away. That choice was theirs, not yours, and God honors how you stayed steady when things felt unstable. This is where supernatural provision enters. When you stop chasing affirmation, heaven starts releasing acceleration. I've seen it happen: sudden clarity about next steps, unexpected financial openings, ideas that carry weight and favor. It doesn't come with chaos, it comes with peace. That is how you'll know it's God. No striving, no panic, just alignment. Chosen. One wealth transfer is not only about money, it's about authority, access, and stewardship. You are being trusted with more because you proved faithful with less. Even in seasons where resources were tight, you remained generous in spirit. Even when misunderstood, you stayed kind. That integrity is now speaking for you in places you've never entered physically. There is a door opening that will not require you to explain your past. It will only require you to walk forward in confidence. The same family members who questioned your path may not understand this next season either, but that no longer defines you. You are no longer seeking agreement. You are walking in assignment. I need you to let go of the idea that reconciliation must come before elevation. Sometimes elevation comes first. Sometimes God restores relationships after he establishes you, not before. Joseph didn't reconcile with his brothers in the pit. He reconciled from a position of provision. Timing matters, and God is precise. Chosen one, do not rush this moment. Let the stillness teach you. Let the silence refine you. You are learning to hear God without the noise of opinions. You're learning to trust provision without seeing the full picture. This is how faith matures. This is how leaders are formed. There is a calm confidence growing in you, even if you haven't named it yet. You're less reactive, less defensive, more discerning. That shift is proof that the process is working, and as it completes, you will notice doors opening that feel effortless, opportunities aligning without manipulation, support arriving without begging. Anointed one, stay grounded, stay humble, stay open. The same God who carried you through isolation is now preparing to walk you into increase, not to impress others, but to establish you. What is coming will not inflate your ego, it will anchor your purpose. You are not behind, you are right on time. And the silence you survived is about to speak louder than anything you could have said. Chosen one. There is a deeper layer to what you have lived through that only becomes clear when the noise finally settles. At first, rejection feels like loss, but with time you begin to see it as revelation. You start noticing how your spirit no longer reacts the way it once did, how old triggers no longer control you, how peace has replaced the constant need to be understood. That is not emotional numbness, that is spiritual authority forming, anointed. One authority does not arrive with applause, it arrives with weight. The weight of responsibility, the weight of discernment, the weight of knowing when to move and when to remain still. I remember seasons when I wanted answers immediately, when I wanted God to explain why certain people walked away. But explanation would have kept me tied to the past. Silence set me free, and that freedom is now creating space for what is next. Chosen one. You are being prepared to handle increase without losing yourself. Many people pray for breakthrough, but are not ready for the pressure that comes with it. They want overflow without order, blessing without boundaries. God has been teaching you boundaries through distance, teaching you order through isolation, teaching you stewardship through delay. None of it was wasted. There is a maturity in you now that could not have been formed in comfort. You have learned how to sit with unanswered questions without collapsing. You have learned how to trust God without needing constant reassurance. That is rare, and rarity attracts favor. Heaven entrusts weighty assignments to steady hands. Anointed one. What is coming next will require discernment more than effort. You will be presented with opportunities that look good on the surface, but are misaligned in the spirit. Because once increase begins to flow, not every open door is from God. This is why your sensitivity has been sharpened. This is why you no longer rush decisions. This is why you feel a check in your spirit when something feels off, even if it looks profitable or popular. I have seen people step into blessing too early and lose themselves trying to maintain it. God is protecting you from that. He is teaching you to move at His pace, not pressure's pace, to value peace over speed, to choose alignment over urgency. That wisdom will preserve what He is about to place in your hands. Chosen one, the financial shift approaching you will not come with confusion. It will come with clarity. It will feel like things finally make sense, like provision lines up with purpose instead of distracting from it. This is not a season of scattered blessings. It is a season of focused favor. And focused favor requires focused obedience. There is also healing happening beneath the surface that you may not fully recognize yet. Old wounds from family rejection are losing their power. You are no longer trying to prove your worth. You are no longer replaying conversations in your head. That emotional detachment is not coldness, it is wholeness. You are being restored in places you didn't even realize were still bleeding. Anointed one, as you heal, your capacity increases. Capacity to receive. Capacity to lead. Capacity to steward resources without guilt or fear. Some people sabotage blessings because deep down they still feel unworthy. God has been addressing that in you quietly, teaching you that favor is not something you earn, it is something you honor. You may notice that your prayers have changed. You ask less for rescue and more for wisdom, less for escape and more for direction. That is growth. That is alignment. And heaven responds quickly to aligned prayers. When your desires match God's intention, movement accelerates. Chosen one, do not be surprised if people from your past resurface when things begin to shift. Some will be curious, some will be confused, some will want access to what you carry now. This is where discernment protects you. Not everyone who returns is meant to stay. Not every familiar voice deserves influence. God separated you once for a reason. Do not undo His work out of nostalgia or guilt. I have learned that God restores relationships differently than we expect. Sometimes He restores them through proximity. Other times He restores them through peace without proximity. Both are valid. Both are healing. What matters is that you remain obedient to the voice that carried you through the wilderness. That same voice will guide you into increase. Anointed one. Your story is becoming a testimony, not because you escaped difficulty, but because you endured it without losing your integrity. That testimony will open doors you never knocked on. It will speak in rooms you were never invited into. This is how God elevates quietly but powerfully. You are stepping into a season where your consistency will be rewarded, where seeds planted in private will produce visible fruit, where obedience that felt unnoticed will be honored publicly. Not to glorify you, but to establish credibility for the assignment ahead. Chosen one, stay grounded, stay prayerful, stay teachable. Increase does not mean independence from God. It means deeper dependence. The more He gives, the more closely you must walk with Him. That closeness is your greatest protection. Everything you endured refined you for this moment. The silence shaped you, the rejection strengthened you, the isolation clarified you, and now the path ahead is opening with precision, not chaos. You are not walking into uncertainty, you are walking into alignment, and alignment always brings provision right on time. Chosen one, as alignment deepens, you may notice that your internal world has become quieter, even while your external world begins to move. This is intentional. God stabilizes the inside before he accelerates the outside. When movement comes without inner stability, it creates anxiety. When stability comes first, movement creates confidence. That confidence is forming in you now, not through hype, but through trust built over time. Anointed one. There is a shift happening in how you see yourself. You are no longer defining your value by who stays or who leaves. You are measuring your life by obedience, peace, and fruit. That is a sign of maturity, and maturity attracts responsibility. Heaven does not promote based on talent alone. It promotes based on trustworthiness. You have proven trustworthy in silence, in loss, in seasons where faith was required without evidence. I remember realizing one day that the same rejection that once wounded me no longer had access to my emotions. That didn't mean I forgot what happened. It meant I healed. Healing doesn't erase memory. It removes control. That is what is happening in you. Old patterns no longer dictate your reactions. Old voices no longer shape your decisions. You are moving with discernment instead of defense. Chosen one. This is why what is coming next will not overwhelm you. God waited until your emotions were steady, your motives purified, and your identity anchored. Many people receive increase and immediately feel pressure to perform. You will feel peace to steward. That difference matters. Peace keeps blessing from becoming a burden. There is also a refining happening in how you relate to money and provision. Fear around lack is loosening its grip. You are learning to trust supply without obsessing over it. I have seen how God re-educates the heart before he enlarges the hand. He teaches you that provision flows from alignment, not anxiety. That lesson prepares you to receive without panic and give without fear. Anointed one. The promotion ahead is not about proving others wrong. It is about placing you where your gift can function without resistance. God does not elevate to impress. He elevates to deploy. There are people you will impact simply by being steady, consistent, and present. You do not need to announce your authority. Authority announces itself through fruit. As this season unfolds, you may feel an invitation to simplify. Fewer explanations, fewer justifications, clearer priorities. That simplicity is power. When God reduces noise, it is because clarity is needed for the next step. I learned that clarity often comes when you stop trying to manage perceptions and start honoring conviction. You are doing that now. Chosen one, be mindful of how you steward your energy. Not every conversation deserves your depth. Not every relationship deserves your vulnerability. Guarding your heart does not make you distant. It makes you wise. Wisdom protects what God is growing. This is not a season to overextend emotionally. It is a season to stay rooted spiritually. You may also notice that opportunities are beginning to align without you chasing them. Conversations lead somewhere. Ideas carry weight. Doors open with less resistance. That is favor responding to obedience. Favor is not luck. It is alignment made visible. And alignment increases when you remain faithful in small, unseen choices. Anointed one. The temptation in seasons of movement is to rush. but you have learned the cost of moving too quickly without clarity. Now you move with discernment. You pause when needed. You pray before deciding. That patience will protect what is being built. God is not asking you to sprint. He is asking you to stay steady. There is also a lesson unfolding around rest. True rest is not inactivity. It is trust. It is the ability to stop striving because you believe God is at work, even when you are still. That rest will keep you healthy as responsibility increases. Burnout comes from trying to sustain what God intended to supply. You are learning to let Him supply. Chosen one. You are stepping into a season where your life will make sense in hindsight. Pieces that felt disconnected will align. Moments that felt wasted will reveal purpose. People who doubted will observe quietly. Not because you explained yourself, but because the fruit speaks clearly. That is how God vindicates without noise. As your influence grows, humility will be your anchor. Humility does not mean shrinking. It means staying teachable. It means remembering who carried you when no one else did. That remembrance will keep your heart soft and your spirit sharp. God resists pride, but partners with humility. Partnership brings multiplication. Anointed one, stay focused, stay prayerful, stay present. Do not measure progress by comparison. Measure it by peace. Measure it by clarity. Measure it by obedience. What you are becoming matters more than what you are gaining, and who you are becoming is capable of stewarding what is coming. The separation you survived refined you for this level. The silence trained you for discernment. The rejection strengthened your resolve. None of it was random. None of it was wasted. You are not arriving late. You are arriving ready. And readiness is what unlocks sustainable increase. Chosen one. As this season continues to unfold, you may feel a growing sense of responsibility settling over you, not as pressure, but as awareness. Awareness that what you carry now is no longer just for you. The wisdom you gained in isolation, the clarity formed in silence, the restraint learned through rejection, these are not private victories. They are tools, and tools are given to be used with care. Anointed one. God does not bring increase simply to improve your lifestyle. He brings it to expand your impact. That is why your heart was shaped before your hands were filled. You learned how to hold loss without collapsing. Now you are learning how to hold blessing without becoming attached to it. That balance is rare, and it is powerful. I remember a moment when I realized that the thing I once begged God to fix, He had actually used to form me. What felt like delay was direction. What felt like exclusion was protection. You are having that realization now. It changes how you walk. You no longer move from desperation. You move from discernment. That shift is essential for what comes next. Chosen one. There is also a refinement happening in your speech. You speak less, but when you do, your words carry weight. That is not coincidence. Authority is not loud. It is precise. God has been teaching you to listen more than you speak, to observe more than you react. That discipline will guard you in rooms where influence and opportunity intersect. Anointed one, you are entering a season where discernment will matter more than desire. Not everything that excites you will be assigned to you. Some opportunities will look attractive, but will drain your peace. Others may look simple, but will carry long-term fruit. Trust the quiet check in your spirit. That is the wisdom you earned through waiting. As provision increases, generosity will be tested not just financially, but emotionally. Who you choose to support, where you invest your energy, how you respond to those who misunderstood you before. Generosity without wisdom leads to depletion. Wisdom with generosity leads to multiplication. God is teaching you the difference. Chosen one, let go of the urge to prove anything to anyone. Proof creates pressure. Peace creates power. The people who questioned your journey do not need convincing. Time will speak for you. Fruit will testify for you. And God will establish you without you defending yourself. That restraint is strength, not weakness. There may be moments when old emotions resurface unexpectedly. Memories, conversations, questions that were never answered. Do not panic when this happens. Healing is not linear. It is layered. Each layer reveals more freedom, and you are strong enough now to face what once overwhelmed you. Let it pass through without pulling you back. Anointed one, you are also learning how to receive without guilt. That is important. Many people struggle to accept blessing because they associate it with pride or fear loss. God is teaching you that receiving with gratitude honors Him. You are not taking from others. You are stewarding what heaven assigned. That perspective will keep your heart aligned. There is a quiet joy growing in you, not excitement driven by circumstances, but contentment rooted in trust. That joy will sustain you when responsibility increases. It will remind you why you started this journey, not for recognition, but for obedience. Obedience always leads to fulfillment, even when it costs comfort. Chosen one, be mindful of your inner dialogue. Speak life over yourself. Do not rehearse old narratives of rejection or lack. Those chapters are closed. You are writing a new one now. A chapter defined by clarity, provision, and purpose. What you say to yourself will shape how you steward what comes next. I have learned that God often blesses quietly at first. He lets stability form before visibility follows. Do not mistake quiet progress for stagnation. Roots grow in silence before fruit appears. What is forming beneath the surface is stronger than anything that could have been rushed. Anointed one, stay connected to the source. Prayer is not a ritual, it is alignment. When you stay aligned, decisions become clearer. When alignment fades, confusion grows. Keep returning to that place of stillness. It is where direction remains sharp and peace remains steady. You're not carrying this calling alone. Heaven is involved. Guidance is present. Provision is being arranged. Trust the pace. Trust the process. Trust the God who carried you through what you could not explain. The same hand that sustained you in lack will guide you in abundance. Chosen one, you are ready for this season, not because you are perfect, but because you are surrendered. Surrender is what turns potential into purpose, and purpose, when aligned with heaven, always finds provision right on time. Chosen one, there is a quiet confidence settling into you now, and it is different from anything you have known before. This confidence is not rooted in certainty about outcomes, but in trust about direction. You no longer need to know every detail to take the next step. You have learned that obedience unfolds light, one step at a time. That is how faith matures. That is how calling becomes clear. Anointed one, as responsibility increases, discernment becomes your greatest ally. You are learning to recognize what drains you versus what strengthens you. You are noticing how certain environments dull your spirit, while others sharpen it. Pay attention to that. God often guides through peace as much as through instruction. Where peace remains, alignment follows. Where peace leaves, protection is needed. I remember learning this the hard way, staying too long in spaces that applauded my skill but ignored my soul. It took time to realize that validation is not the same as affirmation. Validation is external and temporary. Affirmation comes from alignment and lasts. You are choosing affirmation now. That choice will preserve you. Chosen one. There is also a shift in how you handle disappointment. What once would have unsettled you now passes through without control. You feel it, but it does not define you. That is emotional maturity shaped by grace. Grace does not deny pain. It prevents pain from becoming identity. This will keep your heart open as your influence expands. As provision increases, you will be tempted to measure progress by numbers alone. Resist that. Measure progress by peace, clarity, and consistency. Numbers fluctuate. Alignment remains. When alignment is intact, provision follows naturally. You are learning to trust that rhythm rather than forcing outcomes. Anointed one, there is a refining happening in your motives. You are becoming less interested in being seen and more committed to being faithful. That internal shift will protect you from comparison. Comparison steals joy and distorts calling. You were never meant to mirror someone else's path. Your journey is specific because your assignment is specific. You may notice that your prayers are becoming simpler, fewer words, deeper trust. That simplicity is intimacy. When you trust someone deeply, you do not need to explain yourself constantly. You rest. God is inviting you into that kind of rest. Rest that does not stop movement, but sustains it. Chosen one, as you step into greater stewardship, boundaries will matter more than ever. Not walls, but boundaries. Boundaries define where your energy belongs. They protect your peace so you can give freely where you are called. Saying no to misalignment is saying yes to purpose. That clarity will keep you from unnecessary battles. There may be moments when you feel the pull of old patterns, overthinking, self-doubt, the urge to explain yourself. When that happens, pause, breathe, return to what you know. God carried you through seasons you never thought you would survive. He will not abandon you now that you are stepping into fruit. Memory of faithfulness fuels courage for the next step. Anointed one, you are also learning how to lead yourself before leading others. That self-leadership is evident in your discipline, your consistency, your willingness to do the unseen work. Many people want influence without formation. You accepted formation when influence was not guaranteed. That choice will make your leadership sustainable. As doors open, humility will keep them open. Humility does not mean denying growth. It means honoring the source. Stay grateful. Stay teachable. Stay aware that everything you carry is entrusted, not owned. Stewardship multiplies what pride would isolate. Chosen one. You may find that your circle continues to refine. Fewer people, deeper connections. That is not loss. That is focus. God often reduces to strengthen. When voices are fewer, direction becomes clearer. When distractions lessen, purpose sharpens. I have learned that some seasons are not meant to be loud, they are meant to be solid. You are building something that will last, not something that will trend. That takes patience, that takes restraint, that takes trust. You are developing all three. Anointed one. The blessing ahead will require you to remain anchored in truth when opinions fluctuate. People may project expectations onto you. They may assume things about your journey. Let them. You do not owe explanations for obedience. Your consistency will speak clearly over time. There is a steadiness forming in you that will become a refuge for others. People will be drawn to your calm, your clarity, your grounded presence, not because you advertise wisdom, but because you live it. That influence will open doors you never pursued. Chosen one, remain present. Do not rush the moment you are in. This is where strength is built. This is where vision becomes clear. This is where trust deepens. And from this place, the next step will emerge naturally, without striving, without fear, without confusion. You are not guessing your way forward anymore. You are walking with intention, and that intention aligned with heaven will continue to produce provision, peace, and purpose. One faithful step at a time. Chosen one. There comes a moment in every calling when movement is no longer driven by urgency, but by clarity. You are entering that moment now. What once felt like pressure to act has been replaced with permission to wait until the signal is clear. That is not hesitation. That is discernment. Discernment is the evidence that trust has taken root. Anointed one, you have learned that not every delay is denial, and not every opportunity is instruction. This awareness will protect you in the season ahead. As favor increases, invitations will multiply. Some will be genuine, some will be distractions dressed as blessings. The difference will not be obvious to others, but it will be clear to you if you remain attentive to peace. I remember realizing that the most dangerous moments were not when doors were closed, but when too many doors were open at once. Choice requires wisdom, and wisdom grows in stillness. You have spent enough time in stillness to recognize when something pulls you out of alignment, even if it looks successful on the surface. That sensitivity is not weakness. It is training. Chosen one. You're also learning how to hold vision without forcing manifestation. Vision is not something you push into existence. It is something you steward patiently until the timing is right. Many people abort what God planted by trying to rush harvest before roots are deep. You resisted that temptation. You stayed grounded when impatience would have been easier. There is a deeper trust forming between you and God now. Trust not based on outcomes, but on character. You trust who He is, not just what He can do. That kind of trust changes how you pray. It changes how you wait. It changes how you move. You no longer bargain, you listen. And listening positions you to receive instruction, not just provision. Anointed one, your life is becoming simpler but stronger. Fewer distractions, clearer priorities. This simplicity is not reduction, it is refinement. God is removing excess so that what remains carries greater impact. You are learning to say no without guilt and yes without fear. That balance will keep you steady as responsibility increases. You may notice that old insecurities no longer speak as loudly as they once did. They still whisper occasionally, but they no longer command attention. That is progress. Healing does not erase every memory. It removes authority from fear. You are no longer led by what you lacked. You are led by what you know. Chosen one. The coming season will require courage of a different kind. Not the courage to survive hardship, but the courage to stand confidently in provision without shrinking or apologizing. Some people are comfortable with you struggling, but uneasy with you thriving. Their discomfort is not your responsibility. Your obedience is. I learned that stepping into stability can feel unfamiliar after long seasons of uncertainty. There can be a strange temptation to sabotage peace because chaos feels normal. Resist that. Peace is not boring. Peace is strength sustained. Allow yourself to rest in what God is building without questioning its legitimacy. Anointed one, you are being trusted with influence that will reach beyond what you can currently see. Influence does not always announce itself. Sometimes it begins quietly through consistency, through presence, through integrity lived daily. You do not need to chase impact. Impact follows alignment. As you move forward, remain aware of your inner posture. Stay humble without shrinking. Stay confident without arrogance. These qualities can coexist when identity is secure. You know who you are becoming, and you know who is guiding you. That awareness will keep you balanced when praise or criticism comes. Chosen one. There will be moments ahead when you are tempted to look back at people who left, back at seasons that hurt, back at versions of yourself that survived. Honor the journey, but do not return to it. Gratitude does not require revisiting pain. Growth does not require reliving wounds. You carry the lesson forward without carrying the weight. You may also feel a renewed sense of purpose stirring, not urgency, but clarity, not pressure, but direction. That stirring is alignment confirming itself. When purpose aligns with provision, movement becomes natural. You will not have to force momentum. It will build steadily as you remain faithful. Anointed one. Remember this, you are not responsible for outcomes beyond obedience. Release the need to control results. Control exhausts. Trust sustains. You have proven you can trust God in lack. Now He is teaching you to trust Him in abundance. Both require faith. Both shape character. There is a strength in you now that comes from knowing you survived what you once feared. That memory builds confidence for what lies ahead. You are not stepping into unknown territory without experience. You are stepping forward with wisdom earned through endurance. Chosen one. Keep honoring the process. Keep choosing alignment over approval. Keep listening more than reacting. What is unfolding is not rushed, but it is sure. And as you continue walking with intention, provision will meet purpose without striving. You're not chasing destiny anymore. You're walking with it. And that walk, steady and aligned, will continue to open doors at the right time, in the right order, with the right peace. Chosen one. This is the stage where faith matures into certainty, not certainty about outcomes, but certainty about direction. You are no longer guessing whether God is with you. You know He is. That knowing changes how you walk, how you wait, and how you respond when things do not unfold immediately. Confidence rooted in trust is quieter than confidence rooted in proof, but it is far stronger. Anointed one. You are beginning to recognize how much strength it took to become this version of yourself. Strength to remain kind when misunderstood. Strength to stay disciplined when no one was watching. Strength to keep believing when evidence was scarce. Those strengths were built slowly, almost invisibly, yet they now support everything that is coming next. Nothing ahead will collapse you because you have already learned how to stand. There is also a shift in how you relate to time. You are no longer in a hurry to arrive. You understand now that arrival without preparation creates fragility. Preparation without arrival creates frustration. God balanced both in you. You waited long enough to mature, but not so long that hope died. That balance is wisdom. Chosen one. You may notice that your emotions feel steadier even when circumstances fluctuate. This is not detachment. It is anchoring. You are anchored in something deeper than moods, opinions, or temporary outcomes. That anchor allows you to experience joy without fear and disappointment without despair. Emotional stability is one of the greatest signs of spiritual growth. Anointed one, as provision begins to express itself more tangibly, remember that abundance is a tool, not a trophy. God does not increase to impress others, but to empower obedience. What flows toward you is meant to flow through you. When your hands remain open, supply remains steady. When hands clench in fear, flow slows. You are learning to trust flow. I have learned that stewardship is less about managing resources and more about managing the heart. When the heart remains aligned, decisions become simpler. You know when to give, when to save, when to invest, and when to wait. That clarity prevents regret. God is sharpening that clarity in you now. Chosen One this season will invite you to lead by example more than instruction. People will observe how you handle success, not just how you handled struggle. Integrity in blessing is rarer than integrity in hardship. Stay consistent. Do not change your values to match new environments. Let your values shape the environment instead. Anointed One, you will also notice a deeper compassion forming in you. Not pity, but understanding. You see people differently now. You recognize fear behind resistance, insecurity behind criticism, pain behind distance. This compassion will keep your heart soft, even as your boundaries remain firm. Soft hearts and strong boundaries can coexist. There may be moments when progress feels subtle rather than dramatic. Do not misinterpret that. Sustainable growth is rarely loud. It is steady. Loud movements attract attention. Steady movements build foundations. You are building something that will last longer than excitement. That requires patience and trust. Chosen One resists the urge to compare your pace with others. Comparison distorts perception and breeds unnecessary doubt. Your timeline is intentional. Your process is specific. What you carry requires depth, not speed. Depth takes time. Honor that. Anointed One, remain attentive to small instructions. Often the greatest shifts are unlocked through simple obedience. A conversation avoided, a habit adjusted, a boundary reinforced. These small acts accumulate into significant alignment. Nothing you do in obedience is insignificant. You are entering a phase where confirmation comes less through signs and more through peace. Peace that remains even when answers are incomplete. Peace that steadies you when others question your choices. That peace is your confirmation. Chosen One, let gratitude remain a daily practice. Gratitude keeps perspective clear and pride distant. It reminds you where you came from without pulling you backward. Gratitude honors the journey without clinging to it. As you continue forward, trust that what is meant to meet you will not miss you. You do not need to chase. You do not need to force. Alignment attracts provision naturally. Stay aligned. You are no longer becoming ready. You are ready. And readiness paired with humility will continue to unlock what effort never could. Walk forward without fear, remain rooted in truth, and allow each step to be guided gently, knowing heaven's timing is precise, protective, and always working for your ultimate good and peace. Chosen One, as we come to the sacred close of this word, allow your spirit to rest in what heaven has already confirmed. What you felt stirring was not emotion, it was alignment. Anointed One, a supernatural transfer is already in motion, and you are standing in your Kairos moment, the precise time heaven appointed for your elevation. Nothing was wasted, nothing was delayed. Every season prepared you for this crossing. Receive this blessing. Now may clarity replace confusion, may peace guard your heart, and may provision meet purpose without striving. What was resisted is being released. What was hidden is being revealed. Walk forward with gratitude, knowing the anointing that sustained you in silence will establish you in increase. Stay faithful. Stay aligned. Let obedience remain your language and trust your posture. I declare courage over your steps, wisdom over your decisions, and favor that overtakes effort. May doors open that require no explanation, and may your life testify louder than words. Chosen one, you are confirmed, commissioned, and carried by grace. Look ahead with expectancy. What is forming now will manifest in ways that honor God and anchor your calling. If this word met you where you are, let your amen be a quiet agreement in the comments, a witness to heaven and encouragement to another chosen one. If you are led, share this message with someone who needs confirmation. And as you go, remain attentive to the flow of the anointing. Walk gently, boldly, and thankfully. Until we meet again, rest in your identity, guard your peace, and remember, heaven has already said yes.